I had cruise control on the highway. Then I realized the brakes weren't working. No matter how hard I hit the brakes, the speed stayed locked at 100 km/h. There was a big semi on the right, and on the left, a white sedan crawling in the fast lane, running neck and neck with the semi. My wife was in the back seat feeding our baby snacks. She saw we were about to crash and asked me why I still hadn't hit the brakes. I turned my head to look at her, caught her eyes in the rearview mirror, and said with a bitter smile, "Buckle up." Grabbed the handle, and "I love you." I laid on the horn, and my wife already knew what was happening. The car ahead was still crawling along. Looked like he was only doing about 70. I absolutely hated people who ride slow in the fast lane. I didn't dare stop honking. The white sedan finally sped up a little. But before I could even exhale, something terrifying happened. The white sedan's brake light suddenly lit up. There was nothing in front of him. He was just annoyed at my honking, so he brake checked me on purpose. The problem was, I had no brakes at all. Bang! My car slammed right into him. The whole car lurched violently. My wife grabbed the handle, and I gripped the steering wheel as hard as I could. If I drifted out of my lane, the semi beside me would swallow us whole. Turns out the white sedan had only meant to scare me. The driver probably slammed the brakes, then immediately floored it. So when I actually hit him, he got spooked too. He floored the gas and pulled ahead. We got past the semi. The white sedan's window rolled down, and a guy started waving at me, screaming something. He started drifting into the next lane, trying to get me to stop. My wife rolled down her window and frantically yelled that the brakes were out, but with the wind that loud, there was no way the sound could reach him. He saw us just drive off. The white sedan immediately gave chase. The guy was furious. He was the one crawling in the fast lane and brake checking me. But now he was acting like he was the victim. He flipped me off. He hit the gas, cut back in front of me again. This guy actually wanted to pit maneuver me on the highway. A reckless driver on the road is basically just delivering the Grim Reaper to some innocent family. The second his car cut in front of me, I slammed right into him. Another massive crash. His front end got completely smashed in. My car shot forward. The impact threw the whole car off balance. I quickly activated lane assist, fighting to keep the wheel steady. The faster you go, the more you cannot panic. One wrong twitch of the wheel, and we were done. My wife was crying hard in the back. How did we end up with someone like this? Stay calm. Inside, I wanted to tear this guy apart. My wife and my child were in this car. We were hanging by a thread, and he wouldn't think for a second he was wrong. He'd only think that we were the ones who hit and ran him. Sure enough, the white sedan caught up again fast. His front end was completely wrecked, but he still wouldn't let us go. My car was locked at 100 km/h. He floored it, blew past and got in front of us. My stomach dropped. I had a very bad feeling. Suddenly his window rolled down. He hurled a half-eaten cup of instant noodles out of the car. It smashed right into my windshield. Noodle broth splattered all over the glass, completely blocking my view. I hit the wipers fast, but the glass was smeared with a greasy film. In that moment, our lives were in God's hands. We couldn't see anything ahead. The more you wipe an oily film, the worse it gets. I had to scrape the noodles off first, let the rest air dry. That at least gave me a barely clear view. My wife in the back was shaking and sobbing, but she quickly grabbed her phone and called the highway patrol. "Hello, is this the police?" My husband and I are on the highway. Our brakes are out. The car in front keeps cutting us off on purpose. He just threw a cup of noodles at our windshield. My baby is in the back seat. Please, save my family, please. My wife wiped her tears and connected the call to Bluetooth. She cried out, "Honey, the officer needs to know where we are." "I don't know exactly where we are. We just passed the Huangjiadun exit heading south." "What's your vehicle color and plate number?" "Matte gray. Plate is 712C32. We'll lock down the highway exits ahead immediately and send a patrol escort. Can you see the plate of the vehicle harassing you? We'll contact them and order them to back off immediately." "I didn't catch his plate. Right now he's pulled up beside me. I can't see it." "Copy. We're pulling up every camera along the route." "Just keep driving." I swallowed hard and asked the one question I needed answered most. "How far is the nearest runaway truck ramp?" Silence for a few seconds, then 80 kilometers. We will do everything we can to protect you." My heart sank completely. 80 kilometers. That's basically crossing 2 cities. The white sedan was still running alongside me. The driver was still going off on me. I couldn't hear what he was saying, but I knew it wasn't pretty. More importantly, an emergency lane was starting to appear ahead. If I could merge into the emergency lane right now, it would massively improve our family's chances of survival. The problem was this white car. He was matching my speed on the right, making it completely impossible to merge right. My wife in the back. She wiped her tears and suddenly unclipped her seatbelt. "Babe, do you have lane assist on?" "Yeah." "Then get out of the seat." "I'll take over." I looked up, locked eyes with my wife in the rearview mirror. She said through her tears, "The back seat has a better chance of surviving." "Let me drive." I didn't say a word. "Just grip the wheel tighter." She kept begging me to switch. "If something happens to you, what do me and our daughter do? I can't make nearly as much money to raise her. You surviving is better for her than me surviving." I glanced back at our daughter. She was still babbling away, totally unaware she was in the middle of a life-or-death situation. She had her little cracker, happily waving her tiny hand. I forced a smile and said to her, "Baby, say Dada." She'd never said Dada before. If I was going to die here today, I at least wanted to hear her say it once. My daughter giggled at me, shaking her little cracker, going, "Appa, appa," when she saw I still hadn't switched seats. My wife frantically grabbed at my shirt. My nose burned. I said quietly, "Stop using the baby as an excuse. Listen to me." She wiped her tears, voice cracking. "I've never believed in ghosts my whole life. But if there's a chance I could find you again, I hope there's a next life. My wife stared at me in a daze, but then suddenly, my gut clenched. The white car had sped past from the right lane again. I had no idea what he was planning, but every move he made put me on edge. I knew exactly what kind of person I was dealing with. A driver who crawls in the fast lane is either an idiot or someone who has zero respect for human life. From everything this guy had done, he had absolutely zero. His window opened again. Something was thrown out. Before I could even see what it was, my windshield just exploded. My wife let out an agonizing scream. I turned to look. I froze. A screwdriver had blown through the windshield. He didn't just shatter the glass. With the force of 100 km/h behind it, it blew straight through the passenger seat and drove itself into my wife's shoulder. I turned around. All I could see was my wife in the back seat, pinned to the seat by a screwdriver. She pressed her shoulder. Blood was pouring out. My mind just went blank. One single thought kept screaming in my head, kill him. My daughter, who had been smiling, was now wailing. I looked over at her and saw a shard of glass had sliced through her tiny cheek. Her little face was covered in blood. My wife was in agony. She was pale as a ghost, but the second she saw our daughter was hurt, she forced herself to grab the screwdriver and yanked it out. She threw herself over our daughter and frantically said, "Baby, don't be scared." She checked every inch of the wound. Then she cried to me, barely able to speak. Baby's cheek got cut. Glass is stuck in the skin. I'm scared to move it. I watched it all in the rearview mirror. It was tearing me apart. Just moments ago, my wife was peeling grapes for me in the back seat. My daughter had her little cracker, happily going appa appa. And now, one of them had a screwdriver through her shoulder. The other had blood all over her face. I told myself, if I survive this, I am going to end that white car driver. The right side of the windshield was completely blown out. With the speed of the car, glass shards kept flying in every few seconds. I drove on, filled with nothing but fear and rage. I'd seen a news story once, some kid throwing rocks onto the highway. The rock didn't just shatter a windshield, it blew the driver's head apart on impact, died on the spot. And today, my family had come that close to that exact horror. Just a few inches off, and that screwdriver would have gone straight into my wife's skull, or her heart. If it was just me in this car, I would have killed him by now. But right now I had to stay calm. No matter how much pain I was in, I had to force myself to think clearly. Keep my family safe. Right then, the white car ahead flipped me off again. In that instant, a bold plan suddenly clicked in my head. That white sedan always liked to get in front and throw things. So what if I just tucked in right behind his car? Let him run point for me. If there's anything blocking the road, he'll be the one dodging it first. And if he hits the brakes, worst case I rear end him. Use his brakes and his car's weight.